it is the price. Why'd you run and hide? You can come inside. You're screaming like
Jungkook is in his room. The room is dark, perfectly matching with his aura. His eyes fixed on the figure who is sleeping on the bed, or in reality unconscious, who is totally unaware of the storm which is coming towards her with slow steps. Sleep, sweetheart, cause when you'll wake up, you'll not able to sleep again. Jungkook, dangerous mafia, whose single glare is enough to make any person on his knees. Everyone fear him cause he don't think twice before declaring the sinner and in killing him. But for surprise, he don't kill innocents. But that doesn't mean anyone can rebel him. Nobody in the world knows that he is only merciless for the sinners. Cause this is the image Jeon Jungkook made of himself in front of world. So anybody will think 100 times before messing with him. Jungkook is sitting in the living room with his eyes closed. His surrounding is quiet, but it was the calm who gladly welcomes a storm. Since when you started kidnapping girls? His friend at the same time crime partner questioned him. Jungkook looked towards him and then again closed his eyes. He was unbothered by his question. I asked you something, he again resented. It's not like I bought her here for my pleasure, but I have to maintain my fear in people, you know. Her father should have thought about this before messing with me. Still, you shouldn't have involved his family. What's her fault in it? But what has her father done? Nothing more, just human trafficking like soldering girls and drugs and all. You know, common things. He said in sarcasm, whereas Taeyang shook his head in disbelief. What? And you are calling it nothing more? That's why I kidnapped her daughter. And don't think that she is a clean chick. She is also involved in her father's deed. But she looks innocent though. His words got cut in the middle by a girl's loud scream. They both looked towards each other, and then a man. Sir, she is awake and she is screaming like a psycho. Jungkook and Taeyang both stood up and moved towards the room. But then Jungkook's phone buzzed. He looked at the caller ID and sighed. You go, I'm coming in a minute. Taeyang nodded and left. Meanwhile, Vine opened her eyes and then again closed them. She snuggled more into the blanket as it was soft. She was having a terrible headache. But suddenly, she shot open her eyes when she realized that it's not her bedroom. She roamed her eyes around. Every corner of the room was dark yet aesthetic. Unknowingly, a scream left from her mouth when she remembered what happened with her last night. Oh God, I'm again late. Run, Ryan, run. Otherwise, that teacher won't let you enter the class this time. Here you are running towards your school because you are super late. Vine is a schoolgirl. She is in her last year of school and she is very frustrated and confused for her future. Many things are running in her mind and she is not able to manage. Thank God, gates are still open. You exclaimed in happiness while huffing and entered the school, but you didn't notice that you are being followed from the very start, or maybe before that too. You are coming home after a hectic day. School, coaching, part-time job is too much for you to handle, and now it's very late. But you don't care because the person who herself is surrounded by the darkness doesn't afraid of dark, isn't it? But soon you heard footsteps behind you. You stopped and those footsteps also stopped. Now you are scared, not because of darkness, but because of the person who is following you. After some time, you started running. for your life. Those men also running behind you. But the alley is closed ahead. You stopped and looked around. You didn't notice where you bought yourself while running. You slowly turned behind and saw 4 to 5 men covered in black. What do you want? You asked with shaky voice. Nothing much, just come with us. That man takes his steps towards you to get a hold on you, but you kicked him, causing him to fall on the ground, groaning in pain. Hold her. Other men started coming closer to you. They were coming closer to you, but someone put a cloth on your mouth. You were struggling in his hold, but after a second, you started losing your senses and fall on the ground. You remember everything, what happened with you. Soon a group of men entered in the room, making her more scared, which she already was. She started screaming, cause all this was reminding her dark past. She looked here and there and saw a door. She quickly ran towards the door and closed it after entering in it. It seemed like a closet where only black clothes was present, which is making her more scared. Her mind was blank. Her mind was thinking the worst scenarios that can happen with her. And why won't she? Imagine a girl got kidnapped and wake up in an unknown place, and that too surrounded by men. She's afraid, very afraid, afraid of losing her life. And one thing is roaming in her mind. She will be able to go from here alive. Taeyong came inside the room and saw a crowd of his men in front of closet. What happened? He asked, gaining all of their attention. They immediately moved aside while one of them spoke. She locked herself in the closet. Taeyong frowned and then chuckled. So silly, thinking she can escape from us by hiding in the closet. He moved forward and banged his fist on the door of the closet. Open the door if you don't want to make it more worse. She flinched at the sound and his voice and crawled back. Break it. His man nodded and started banging the door. And the next second, the door broke with a loud thud and she stopped crying. Taeyong enters the closet and roams his eyes around. It's better to come out by your own, he exclaimed with so much rage in his voice, cause she already has created so much chaos. But still, she didn't come out. Her hand was on her mouth to prevent to make any noise, but her breathing was loud enough for someone to catch her. Got you, he said with a smirk, and she flinched badly and looked at him with her teary eyes. But do tears affect mafias? No, right? Please, leave me. I didn't do anything to you. Please, leave me. She was pleading him while crawling back, and her back hit the wall. He grabbed her arm and started dragging her out without listening to any of her pleadings. He was dragging her, and she was continuously trying to free her hand. Losing his patience, he slammed her on the wall and pinned her hands against the wall. You didn't do anything, he asked while gritting his teeth. No, please leave me. Why you kidnapped? She said while sobbing. He chuckled and then again pulled her more closer and said, if you haven't been a sinner, then you'll not be here. He grabbed her arm and threw her on the bed and signed all the men to go out, and they were out in next second. And here Ryan gets the chance. She gets down from the bed and ran towards the exit. Taeyong saw this and sighed heavily. Silly girl. He was about to go to bring her back, but someone grabbed her wrist and pulled her closer to him. She looked towards the person, and he was more scarier than Taeyong. Where do you think you are going, you? He paused for a second. You know, I don't even have words to define what type of girl you are. But let me clear one thing. Here, everything happens according to me. He again dragged her in the room. She kept on struggling in his hold. Her crying was echoed in the mansion. Leave me. Please, leave me. Ah. She bites him in his hand. His grip on her loosened a bit, but again he held her tightly before she can escape and threw her on the bed harshly, causing her head to bang on the headboard, and her head started bleeding. Oh, so this kitten bites also. Taeyang hold her. First I have to fix this attitude of hers. Taeyang grabbed her shoulder from back tightly. Now, what will you do, huh? Leave me! She screamed with all the energy which is left in her body and completely dropped herself. If Taeyang wasn't holding her, then she will definitely collapse. What kind of man are you two, huh? Showing your power on a helpless, weak person. Shame on you. Jungkook got angry on her words and grabbed her throat, slightly choking her. We don't have to answer you. What kind of men are we? But what about you, huh? Have you ever thought about yourself? Now tell me nicely, where is your father? Huh? I don't have father. I am an orphan, she said while struggling in his grip. But his grip on her throat gets tightened. I don't like lies, sweetie, so better tell me truth. She didn't said anything this time. Actually, she didn't heard anything cause her head started spinning and black dots are appearing in front of her eyes. Seeing that, Taeyang let go of her shoulders. Jungkook, leave her. She might die. Leave her, Jungkook. Jungkook leaves her and she collapsed on the bed, catching her breath while supporting herself. Jungkook was looking at her with his dark gaze and she started crawling back and she was about to fall. Jungkook tried to pull her again but accidentally he grabbed her top and tear it in order to pull her. Her breath hissed and she fell on the ground and her head again got a hit from ground. Her head started spinning badly. She started screaming, crying in pain. Her upper body is exposed while Jungkook was just freezed on his spot cause it's not his intention. He took some steps towards her and she backs off weakly but don't have enough energy to move her body completely. Taeyang moved towards her and picked her up after covering her. Evening. This was the last words she said before losing her senses. Jungkook sighed and said, Taeyang, call the doctor and take her in my room. This room is a complete mess. Jungkook, are you sure she's the girl? Cause the way she was scared, I don't think Mafia's daughter can be like her. But I think our way was wrong. You should have first talked calmly to her. It was not right. Jungkook, who was listening to him all the time, and the little amount of guilt he had for tearing that girl's clothes, vanished when he saw Taeyang taking her side. What is not right? She was the one who kept on running. And remember, she is not innocent. Don't melt on her innocent face. She has sold many girls. Have you ever thought about them? And leave them. Have you forgotten your sister who... He didn't speak further, sensing the pain of the other one. Here Taeyang clenched his fist in both anger and guilt. Anger towards them who have done those cheap things to her sister, and guilt for not able to save her sister from those beasts, and the atmosphere was quiet. After some time, doctor came in the living room. They both looked towards the doctor. She fainted because of having a panic attack, and do she have any mental disease cause her mental state doesn't seem fine? No, she didn't have any. He immediately spoke. Okay, so don't give her stress. We will see what we have to do, he said to himself in low tone. What? The doctor looked at him with questionable look. Nothing, come, I'll show you the exit. He left with the doctor. Jungkook closed his eyes again in order to clear his mind, but after a minute, Jin came with a worried and raised face. What I'm hearing, Jungkook, you kidnapped a schoolgirl, and why so? Jungkook sighed and said under his breath, not again. She is not innocent, and she is not a schoolgirl. She just goes there to hide her identity and to find her next target. Huh? But what is her identity? Mark's daughter, he said calmly. What? He stood up from his seat. What? Don't you know how many lives he have already ruined? But he don't have any daughter. He had hidden her daughter from the world till now. Protective father. But for his bad, my eyes are everywhere, he said, praising himself. Do you know more than me? I have every single information of that pastor. Every single information, and he don't have any daughter, but have a only son who is 16. Now tell me which innocent you have kidnapped. Jin was shouting at him, and Jungkook got little scared hearing his elder's raised voice. Mafia gets scared. Isn't it funny? But why not? Everyone has someone in his and her life whom they fear, and Jungkook has Jin. Check once again, Hyun. I have seen her regularly in his house, he said, but got quiet after seeing Jin glaring at him. He also started thinking, what if Jin is right? Cause never in his life he thought of harming a innocent. I'm damn sure, Jungkook. Just tell me where is she, and don't tell me you have done anything to her. Jungkook shook his head. No, she is unconscious. She is in the effect of chloroform till now. It's good. No, Hyung, it's... And he told him everything. What? You scared her to the point that she had panic attack. But it's not my fault. She was keep on running from me. I just wanted to know her Mark's location, and I lost my patience when she bit me. See? He showed him his hand. So, what do you expect from a girl who is kidnapped? Cling on her kidnapper? Just tell me, where is she? In my room. Jin hurriedly moved towards his room. Jin saw a figure laying on his bed. Her head was covered with bandages, and her face was covered with her hair. But he was feeling nervous, because she was looking like someone who is very close to his heart. Jungkook moved forward and removed her hair from her face. But Jin's next word made him shocked.